So we have to start off with some news. Besides me just getting rocked by Real Madrid last week, which we'll get to, I did have a happy end to my week where I did get engaged when I was in Argentina. And next gonna come to the wedding. So is a nameless soul. I guess we can't name his name, but whatever that cunt's calling himself, he's gonna be there. We might do a live footy talk from Wrocław. Who knows?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So do you want to go over this? Because we both did absolutely terrible. So
Yeah.
you said but I'm gonna pull this up just so we have this
Hey,
for context.
Tuesday's fixtures were perfect for me. I think I almost got every single one correct. Wednesday fucked me up.
Yeah, it was just the amounts that fucked us both.
It was
Well,
like
no,
PSG comfortable against Brest. Oh, I said draw for Dortmund. I thought I'd put a win for Dortmund. Shit. Okay, so Tuesday didn't go as well as I thought then.
yeah, I mean I think yeah, I mean I'm so pissed about that City game. I mean, it was the most Real City ending of a game ever. Of like, it was 2-1 City with 80 minutes left to go. Well,
Show you how
80
mad it
minutes
is.
in.
In the 70 odd years of history of the whole European Cup, 70 plus odds, whatever, how long it's been since the 50s. I think 55 was the first season, 55, 56. So you're looking at a good 70 years to the date, to the year. No team has beaten the same team that many times in injury time that Real Madrid have done to City in recent years.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
What's the
that.
record? Three times.
So it's not just that. I saw a thing. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Like Pep record, knockout Champions League. It was some insane thing that I saw where it's just um, like literally he where I can't find the exact statistic, but I'll just make it up, but it's close to the truth. We're basically like every single year since Barcelona, his team gets knocked out by like end of game heroics by another team. Like it literally just happens every single time. And the theory behind it, and I think this is correct, is that like the problem with Pep's teams is that he so over engineers the play style and all the strategy that by the end of the game, people are exhausted. So you make mistakes first off, right? And so you have this well-tuned machine that when people are tired, they aren't able to do everything perfect. But then not only that, like once it's crunch time and your asshole starts to clench, it's
Yeah.
like
Sticky
weird
butt.
stuff happens, and it's like you can't adjust. Like you have to remember, oh, this is on page 372 of the binder that I got on Tuesday. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like that's basically what it is. And it's like versus Real Madrid, which is much more free flowing. It's just like, look, we're gonna get the best talent in the world, and we're just gonna empower them to do what
That
they can
front
do.
four, that front four, even in the first half, even when City were winning, that front four looked so dangerous. Mbappe had some big chances. It was the ugliest goal I've ever seen. Mbappe's volley was by far the ugliest goal I've seen, at least in a big game. Like he missed
I
it so badly, and it still went in, like bobbled into the net, like bounced in slow mo. I was like, how did that even go? Edison for me was at fault like, for every goal,
so
even
I'm
the first goal.
So I mean, as you know, I'm probably the biggest Mbappe hater out there. I was the one who's saying back in 2021 that Vinicius Jr. was better than Mbappe, which, by the way, I think is a vindicated position right now. If not, if people don't think it's correct, at least it's not unreasonable as it was in 2021 when I was saying it, right? I actually thought that was a really beautiful goal because I think that some of the ugliest goals are some of the most beautiful goals because of like, football's weird that way where like if it's really ugly in a weird way it becomes beautiful because it's just like so chaotic, you know what I mean? But I actually think that the MVPs for the game for Real, I just want to make sure that I got the names correct. Even though he gave up a goal, it was Ceballos and Camavinga because my entire theory about why Real Madrid were going to lose the game was that, just kind of reiterate it, was that Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, and Rodrigo weren't going to be able to press that well, which they really weren't, right? And then you have Asensio and Chouamani, who, are not equipped to be center backs. And so it's really, can you beat the two defensive mids to get to the center backs? And I was like, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland should be able to do that. It turns out that they weren't able to do that. And so I got that completely wrong, but I do have to say, like, I think Kamavinga was really the MVP of this because it looked like a nut, and they just were not able to crack the outside in. And you're looking at the game, and it's like a circle around these two completely inept CBs. I mean, inept is not the right word, just overmatched. And Manchester City just couldn't break through. It was the weirdest game for me to watch. It should have been 50-0, in my opinion.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna turn another light on. Get a bit more light here in the gym. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with your first point. Like the City with the overtraining, the overcoaching, it's like a sports car running out of petrol at the end. It's still a sports car, but there's no gas, there's no petrol. You're not going to move. It's useless at that point.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, I think, did brilliantly. Actually, I always say the balance he brings. He was pressing on his side. He won the ball a few times. There were actually some attacks he started because of him getting the ball off of City. Camavinga.
I will take that back. Rodrigo always puts a lot of energy. I'm more meant Bellingham, Vini, Mbappe,
Yeah.
I mean,
As well. It's embarrassing. He's an Englishman. He's a big lad. He's a unit, and he just keeps flopping left and right.
yeah.
He looks at the ref, and the game carries on. The game carries on while he's on the floor. You're just like, come on, man, grow up.
Well, these aren't the old Real Madrid days. I was actually watching. It came up on my Instagram. It was an old reel of like Sergio Ramos just like pretending to get murdered by another person, and then literally the second the red card comes up, he jumps to his feet and it's
Juan
like
Cuadrado, Champions League 2017 final. I know exactly
Yeah.
which one you're talking about. Juan Cuadrado, you got him. So they were already 3-1 up.
Oh yeah, it was Cuadrado. Yeah.
Cuadrado. You've done it to him in the
Against
2017.
Juventus.
We were watching that Giordano brothers in SF off Valencia Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great place.
Yeah.
So we got kind of our shit kicked in, our teeth kicked in. So you won the playing game one, but then I won week 25. We both lost money, but I lost less money week 25 and you lost less money
Brighton.
in the
Jesus,
play-in.
Brighton annihilated Chelsea. Fuck. And Sancho, beautiful play for that third goal. You fucking dickhead. This is why I'm so happy he's gone. Absolute clown. Just leaves his man. Just forgets about him. Just walks forward blindly, like forgetting that he's got a guy there on his left who's clearly making a run.
Yeah.
Chelsea. Any Chelsea fan I'm talking to, I know a fair few. Yeah, they were singing and dancing. Oh, you lot ruined players. Oh, we've got Sancho. We love it. 25 million. I guarantee you, they don't even want to pay 5 right now. They're pissed.
Can I tell you something? So there's this Instagram account called Football Troll that I love to follow, and I've sent a couple screenshots to the group chat, and like their running joke for the past like year now. It feels like 5 years, but I think it's just been a year. How long has Anthony been at Manchester United? A year?
2 years.
2 years, yeah. The running joke for 2 years now has been that Anthony's the GOAT. So they'll do all the classic jokes like Messi has 0 Premier League wins and like Anthony has like 2 or something like they do all those jokes, but like it's just constant. And then now that he is now in Real Betis, he's playing well, and so like I thought that they would be going through like an existential crisis now that Anthony's actually doing well. They can't shit on him anymore, and no, they're doubling down. They're actually saying, no, this guy is the GOAT. And he's actually going up against Real Madrid this week. And they're like, he's about to prove that this is Anthony's world.
I hope he scores. I would love it. Because you know what? I need him to make a permanent move. Any of these ex-players, like I'm not a kid anymore. Like when you're a kid, you're like, I want them to do terribly. They didn't do shit for my club. Go and have, especially these cunts on loan, go out and have the seasons of your life so that we can actually get you off the fucking books. I want Rashford to kill it. I want Sancho to do well. I want them all off the books. Mason Greenwood, who I actually wanted to keep, and if it wasn't for the Man United women's team, we could have kept him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Apparently now, who was it? Who wants him? Where's he at? PSG want to sign him for 62 million. And we have a 40 to 50% sell-on clause. That's 30 million in the bank. I love it. Thank you, Mason Greenwood. The gift.
So I was thinking about our conversation about women's sports today. And then I promise after we do this, we'll go to the picks. But I have a new position on women's sports. And here's my position. I am for women's sports as long as it makes money. Like as long as they are actually making money, I support it. But if they are like sucking the blood out of men's sports, then I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be taking you seriously. That's my new position.
I was happy with United didn't have a women's team for a long time. All the other clubs didn't. It was embarrassing. It was, oh, if they have a women's team, we should have a women's team. I'm all for it. I support that. The two things, the biggest problem I have is
I don't. I'm a sexist, I guess.
the whole Mason Greenwood thing came out. Yeah, it was bad. And then it was down to like Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe were leaning towards, all right, we'll give him a chance to come back. Ten Hag wants him back. We need him, this and that. He's paid his, he's done his time, he's paid for the crime, whatever. The women's team piped up and said, we don't feel comfortable. They're not sharing changing rooms. They're not even in close proximity in the training grounds. The women's team trained separately to the men's. They didn't even want him. Let's say they're going into the main office building. They didn't even want him. We don't feel comfortable with him being in the building. I'm sorry. Are you you're the women's team? Yeah, but this is Manchester United Football Club. There was no women's team in the 40s and 50s. This is predominantly the men's first team we're talking about. Same way tomorrow, if the roles are reversed, that's as I'm being fair, the men's team should have no say on the men's team shouldn't say, oh, the women can't use the training facilities, this and that, separate gyms. Both teams should have equal rights, but they shouldn't be able to affect each other because of some bias or some opinions.
Well, first of all, I'm not even going that far. The women's team should have no rights. They're completely subsidized by the men team. Even without subsidies, their brand is completely built on things that men built, like the Manchester United brand. So I don't even care about that. But going even one step further, the thing that's even more ridiculous about it is just like let's just like take the crime in context, right? Where like Mason Greenwood was not Bill Cosby, right? Mason Greenwood was not like Louis C.K. He like sexually assaulted his significant other, right? That is the claim that's made, right? So the only circumstances in which you should not feel comfortable about Mason Greenwood is dating him. Like being in the same facility. Like no person has ever accused Mason Greenwood of sexually like sexually assaulting them when they weren't dating him, right? So like you are in peril when you decide to have a relationship with him. I'm willing to give you that. But like, should you say I don't feel comfortable being with him? It's like no. I mean, he's not. It just makes no sense in my
I don't even know why they were consulted like that. This
Yeah.
was strictly the manager. It should have been
because
it should have been the footballing department. That's what
the United Kingdom is a fucking communist dictatorship run by like wokies.
There's some, I don't even know if I call her a celebrity. I don't know who the fuck she is. She hosts some game show on TV or something. She claims to be a United fan. She came out, oh, I'm never gonna watch United. I'm never gonna support United if Greenwood puts the shirt back on again. You are not more important as a fan than anyone else just because you're some hard celebrity. Fuck you. Your little tantrum. If I started saying tomorrow, I don't want us to have a women's team, I have no right to fucking influence that on the team. The PR lot shouldn't be like, oh, this prick in fucking London is saying we don't want him to, he doesn't want the women's team, we should take that consideration. No, the football department makes that decision. And they're so stupid because they took these retards' opinions. And now the real fans, the fans that actually go to fucking games that are being charged, kids are being charged £66. Why aren't we taking their opinions into account? This is where the football structure and these owners are taking the fucking piss. Social media peer pressure. It's nonsense.
I personally think it was more of a problem of UK being a communist dictatorship, but like
I'm sick of it.
We can agree to disagree. But anyway, AC Milan tie Feyenoord. Feyenoord is up 1-0. They're in Milan. They're playing at the San Siro.
It has to be. It's crazy because they took Feyenoord's top striker Jimenez and they just didn't score. It has to be AC Milan.
By the way, this just so people know the way that these lines work. This is in normal time. So if AC Milan like goes up like 1-0 and then it goes to extra time and then they lose that game, it doesn't matter. They still this isn't aggregate. This is anything else. This is within the time. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, AC Milan. I'll put 200 on AC Milan. They have to go through. They're not getting knocked out like 5.
Just one thing. So we have two two games are not being played, but we're still going to do 1,000. So just keep that in the back of your mind. You have $200 extra basically. Honestly, dude, I'm gonna put 100. I'm gonna put 50 on Feyenoord. The reason is because I
Right.
picked AC Milan to go to the final, and this is just the type of thing that I think happens. Is that like I got way too cocky about my Dortmund pick. That it was just luck. I thought it was by brilliance. It wasn't. I'm an idiot. And I think that, me being confident saying AC Milan's gonna go to the final is gonna bite me in the ass. So I might as well win some money off of it. That's my opinion on this matter.
Benfica, Monaco. I don't even know how that one finished. I think Benfica beat them. Or was it
Yeah,
a
so
draw?
so here's the thing. You don't have to embarrass yourself. I'm gonna pull this up before you even have to say that.
I remember seeing the game. I remember seeing Benfica equalize.
Benfica leads 1-0 on aggregate.
Oh, so maybe they just scored. Did Monaco
So
score?
Monaco needs to
Porto
win.
equalized. I was watching the Europa League playoff. Porto equalized against. They were playing someone big actually, weren't they? Who were Porto Roma. They were playing
Uh,
Roma. 1-0 up. Porto equalized. Benfica. Yeah, I'll put 200 on Benfica. They should go through.
200 Benfica. I'm gonna put a tie.
Actually, can I change AC Milan to 50 on Feyenoord? No, 100 on Feyenoord. Sorry, 100 on Feyenoord. And then I'm gonna put. So that's 300. I've still got 700 left. I'm gonna put 300 on Celtic. Fuck you, company.
So
Come on, Celtic. Give us a big European fucking result. Cheeky 1-0.
I'm gonna put 200 on tie. I
That's
I
enough.
I I know I said last week that I think it's gonna be like a Bayern like 8-0 smackdown, and I can still see that happening, but I'm this week is a bet hedger for me. I'm hedging all my predictions. Atalanta Bruges.
See,
I don't know
Bruges got
why I don't know why they
Bruges got,
didn't put tie on this, but whatever.
Bruges got a dodgy penalty at the end. Atlanta were furious. The manager just went off. It was shitty. I want Atalanta. I'm going to go strictly off emotion now. I'm going to stick 100 on Atalanta. I want them to win.
I
They deserve to go through, man. The
so
shit penalty.
I
Bruges.
actually think this might be an extra time. I think this might include extra time.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
sticking to it. No, I'm sticking
Okay,
to it.
cool.
Celtic going through. Fuck you, Bayern. Fuck you, sick of
um
managers lose their jobs and this prick gets fucking the Bayern Munich job. I'm sick of it.
uh yeah, I'm gonna put 100 on Bruges.
Dortmund's.
I want some variety this week
I'm
between me
gonna
and you.
put 100 on
Dortmund
Dortmund.
Sporting.
It has to be Dortmund. 100 on Dortmund. I think they were 3-0 up. They're flying. I think.
Oh, this is PSG. Um
No, that is PSV.
oh, it's
PSG.
PSV. Oh, yeah, it's PSV. Um yeah, let's see this. Dortmund Sporting.
I think they were 3-0 up. Yeah.
Yeah, this just seems weird to me that Sporting wouldn't win. Like I just think see this being like a 2-1 type of thing. You know what I mean? Where Dortmund just try not to lose on aggregate.
PSG. Well, you're not gonna get much on PSG here, are you? Brest. I want to put 50 on the tie.
50 on the tie.
Just
Yeah,
keep it.
I'm gonna put 100 on the tie. I can see that.
The odds are disgusting. I'm not. There's no point putting money on PSG even if they win. Oh, Real Madrid City. I'm gonna put 50 on City.
50 on City.
I think
I'm
they'll
gonna
nick.
put 50 on a tie.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me put 50 on the tie. Actually, screw that. Actually, no, screw it. I'm gonna put 50 on Real. Fuck it. I'm gonna be different to you. 50. Finish the job, boys. Because Rudiger's back, Alaba's back. Like they're back to pretty solid strength. Like, they ain't getting past Rudiger.
In Madrid as well.
He is.
That game was our one chance to knock Real Madrid out of the tournament, and they
I love it. I love it. They go through an extra phase. They have to play City, and they're going to knock Liverpool out in the final. I love it. Oh, before.
this was like that scene um from Star Wars 3
Yeah.
where like I don't think I can actually pull this up. It might be a copyright infringement. But basically when Mace Windu was about to kill Palpatine and Anakin stops him, like that's what
Oh,
this is. That's what this was. And like Palpatine survived and like we
yeah.
now all have to live with the Death Star. Okay. PSV Juve.
I think that finished.
Juve 2-1.
Yeah. So, McKennie scored that fucking volley.
Oh, I
What?
love McKennie.
Have you seen that goal? It was a beautiful
Yeah.
goal. It was well struck. I'm gonna put 50 on the tie. I think Juve go through, but this will be a draw.
You have 100 left.
Oh shit! All right, and I'm gonna put PSG is not worth it. Dortmund, Atalanta, Real. I'll put 100 on Real, and then 50 on the tie there.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you think I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to replicate our strategy from last week, and I think it just was the wrong game for it. I'm gonna put 400 on Dortmund versus Sporting because this is the game that sorry, 450. I really think that this is gonna be like one of those
Dortmund have been involved in a lot of those, both positively and negatively, for them where they've had crazy. I remember one game, it was Dortmund, the team that Isco came from, Malaga, 2013. Malaga were on the brink of knocking Dortmund out. It was a crazy 6-5 aggregate result. Dortmund just about snuck through, and then
Yeah, I mean, I just think I think it's gonna be one of those games where Dortmund just parks the bus, right? And like when you park the bus, I mean, yeah, Daniel Malen could break through, but I think they're just be like, look, try to score 3 goals in
he's
90
not there anymore.
minutes.
Marlon's at Aston Villa, I'm pretty sure. He's not even there anymore.
Oh yeah, he is at Aston Villa.
Villa did some
Who
business, man, with Rashford, Daniel Marlon.
uh they, they got somebody else.
Gittins. They've got Gittins. They've got
Asensio. No, um not Asensio. They have the guy who I always confuse Asensio with.
Asensio's at Villa as well. Funnily enough, Villa went nuts.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yes, oh yeah, sorry. Adeyemi.
Adeyemi, yeah. Adeyemi and then Gittins. Those two are fucking rapid.
Yeah.
Julian's done a good job for them as well. Jamie Gittins.
Um yeah, so I think Sporting is just going to, win like a 1-0 type game where like Dortmund.
A soft spot for Sporting. They always help us out, even though we're kind of in the shitter right now. I feel for Amorim. I can see the fans turning on him already. People starting to talk shit already. He made some mistakes in that Tottenham game, but he didn't have any players. He didn't have the players to play how he wanted to.
I mean, one hilarious thing that a Liverpool fan friend of mine pointed out is that Amorim was literally Liverpool's top choice to replace Klopp. He could have been at Liverpool.
No, he should have been. I think he would have not. Slott's done a good job, but you know what? You lot look nervous against Wolves. You guys, all of a sudden, you look, for some reason, you guys look.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, we didn't.
Don't you dare lie to me that if Jarrell Quansah made that last ditch tackle, it's 2-2. You know that, right?
No.
2-2. You know this. Now you're not making it. My most diehard Liverpool fans here were all saying to me, "Oh, we were nervous after that." It was 2-0 up, you're flying. First half, you're flying. As soon as Cunha hits that thing, bottom bins. And don't forget, Alisson made a big save against that striker that Wolves had for his debut. Like, he should have really put that away. Alisson made a crazy freak save.
I do have to say, right, people always say that, but like that argument can go in so many directions. If this happened, this happened, this happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying that invincible aura you lot had maybe 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago. I'm not saying it's gone, but I'm just saying this is like crunch time, February, March. Champions League will be back. You lot got 3 games in a week now. From Wednesday to Wednesday, you're playing 3 tough games. If you get through that, you're fine. And you've already sort of navigated a very difficult part of the season already. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, just the space of it. Villa away, City away, Newcastle home.
Well, to be fair to us, we did kind of Mr. Magoo that time of the year. Like City just blew up at the right time for us. Real Madrid blew up at the right time. Like it ended up being a lot easier. But yeah, no, I mean, I honestly felt really good about that game. Like I was legitimately surprised when you said that. Like I was so during that game when Cunha hit that, I was scared for like 3 seconds, and then I was just like, no, we're fine. And then I didn't feel scared again. I was pissed about Szoboszlai.
You could hear it in the crowd, though. The crowd was nervous, man. And rightfully so. United, anyone would be nervous in a situation because it's so, given what happened at Everton only 4 days prior, such a big game, it's a natural 3 days prior, 3 nights prior. It's a natural reaction.
we always like I mean we talked about this, right? Like our games against Everton is just one of those things where it's like, like I remember like 10, 15 years ago, the Ravens. I think this was like the Lamar Jackson year where they got Lamar Jackson, where like they like literally were like 2-12 or something, and they were going up against the Steelers who were like 12-1 or something or whatever, and they beat them. You know what I mean? It's just like these two teams have played each other. These two teams are in the same place. It's such a close, bond between, a bad bond, but like a close bond that like there's no, you know, Everton, because here's the thing, right? Like, and I think this gets really like underappreciated in football. So I remember Steph Curry was talking about the season after the 72 win season, and he was like, the problem with it is that no, I think he was talking about the 72 win season. He's like 73 win season. He's like, what makes it even harder is that literally every single night the other team all like they're showing up on that night because they want to be the team that beats
Right.
the
Yeah.
this team, right? And you have to do this every single night, right? And by the way, those Warriors, they lost twice against Giannis Milwaukee Bucks before they were good, right? They lost twice against Giannis's Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis's second year when that team was terrible, right? And so the reason why is because that team showed up on that game, right? And like, I think what happened against Everton is Liverpool was just like they treated it as a normal game, and Everton like they need to beat Liverpool. Like that, like Everton, their players have two goals every year: don't get relegated and beat Liverpool. If they can accomplish that, then they're fine, right? And they accomplished that, right? So it's like they treated it like it was their Champions League final. We treated it like it was a Thursday derby against the worst team in the Premier League, and they showed up. I don't feel nervous about it at all. If we lose to Villa, then like yeah, okay, maybe I'll start to feel a little nervous. But even so, I think we're gonna crush this time of the calendar. Sorry to say, I know you're trying to psych me out, but it didn't work.
Oh no,
Is
I'm
all I'm
just coping.
saying.
I'm just coping. My team's in a relegation battle. I'm just trying to cope as best as I can. It's
Speaking of
horrendous.
which, Villa tie pool. Who do you have?
Not
Oh,
touching that.
you're not betting it. I'll put my fake money where my mouth is. I would put 200 on pool. I usually wouldn't because I just don't like negative odds, but I'm just going to do this to show you up. Leicester
Uh,
tie Brentford.
oh, Brentford's winning that. 100 on Brentford.
I'm going to put 50. Everton tie United.
Not touching that.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be
Um,
kind of boring. I'm not touching the Arsenal game either. I cannot bet on these games because just I'll bet on the United game because we're nothing to play for. But we are starting to lose a lot now, like even more than before. Like we are in a relegation battle now. It's getting a bit mad. I
let's
think
look at
West
this.
Ham. I'm pretty sure West Ham are above us now. I'm fairly confident. I know Tottenham are. Palace might be ahead of us now as well. Well, they probably were before that as well.
Because I actually haven't looked at this table. Just because I know we're number one. There's no
Yeah,
reason to look at
Palace,
it.
Tottenham, Everton are in front of us. West Ham are 2 points behind us. That is disgusting.
So you're not technically in a relegation battle because there's 13 points difference with like 13 games to go, and that's a
12,
really
12 points. The only reason we are not in reason we
12,
won't
yeah.
the fact that these three teams at the bottom are just so bad, we're getting away with it. Like Southampton are gone, they're finished. Leicester can't buy a win. Ipswich play well, they just get pegged back. Everton were in crisis. They're now above us.
Yeah, I mean, Everton's
David
been in
Moyes.
Everton.
David fucking Moyes. There we go. Just more irony on top of the
E-
cake of David
Everton
Moyes.
has been in crisis for 30 years, basically. But
I
yeah,
agree.
I mean, I don't think you're seriously considering relegation,
Their
but
goal
it's not
difference
looking
is better
good.
than us. This goal difference is better than us. They're
Yeah.
plus they've got 3 more goals than us. It's
No, I
insane.
mean, I think you'll be lucky to make it into the top 12. I don't think you're getting
14.
there.
We're where we are about 2 spaces above. That's it. That's as high as we're gonna get. This is
Yeah.
where because Ahmad's out for the season. Martinez is going. They're both getting surgeries. Martinez has had his. Ahmad's getting the surgery on his ankle. All these players, Ugarte, all of our midfield got this mystery flu. They're all sick. Kobe Mainu, Ugarte. We have to play that fucking useless cunt, Casemiro. I'd rather play with a man down. I'd literally rather play with 10 men. I'm not joking. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Because not only is he useless, playing with him is like having 12 men against us. He's against us.
I still, one of my favorite moments in football was the Liverpool beatdown of United that got Ole Gunnar fired, and the Paul Pogba red card, and it was clear that I yeah, he was just like, I don't want to play, I'm out of here, like I'm getting a red card. And it was literally like a purposeful red card, like if I've ever seen one in my entire life, where he actually wanted to get kicked off. That was a
He
fun
was
game.
smiling when he went down the pitch, down the tunnel.
Yeah, he was so happy. He was so happy to not be there.
And they're talking about giving that motherfucking piece of shit a contract to come back now in March after his drugs ban. This is how stupid. United, he's been invited to train with us, and we're offering him a contract. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up. Yeah, I'm disgusted. Honestly, I feel.
Isn't this his like sixth stint at United?
It'll be his third, but it feels like his 12th. I'm sick of
it.
Like, we just got all the toxic cunts out in Jadon Sancho, Rashford, and you're going to let the ringleader back in.
Ringleader. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm putting 50 on United. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. And I'm also I'm gonna put 100 on the Arsenal West Ham tie. I just like
Arsenal, please keep winning. Jesus.
Arsenal is just famous for blowing up at key points. And like I can see us like losing, like I can very easily see us losing to Villa and then Arsenal ties, and just like doesn't take advantage. Like I can see that happening. Southampton, Brighton,
dude, 100 on Brighton.
Yeah, it's got to be 100 on Brighton. You have 800 left with 4 games. I have 500 left with 4 games. Bournemouth, Wolves.
100 on Bournemouth. 200 on Bournemouth. 200 on Bournemouth.
Yeah, I really don't feel like there's gonna be that much crazy stuff happening this week.
Bournemouth are flying. Bournemouth are flying. They're back in it. I think they're 5th now. They're right behind Chelsea and City lot for Champions League.
Yeah, they're 5th.
They're actually ahead of Chelsea. Although I guess they're level on points, but the goal difference. Bournemouth are flying. Good for them. Can you imagine if City get out of there as well? So you've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, and Bournemouth in the Champions League. And then hopefully United win Europa League. So we're in there as well, just because we won the Mickey Mouse Cup. That would be insane.
Do you really think you're going to win the Europa League, though?
Before Ahmad's injury, I thought we had a good chance. But now I think we're fucked. I think our season is we're just waiting. I haven't waited. We've had terrible seasons in the last couple of years. This is definitely the one where I cannot wait for the season to end. Football is actually aging me. Just because I feel for the manager, I'm worried that Ineos are funny like that. They're trigger happy. They're not gun shy. They could end up sacking Amorim before the end of the season if shit doesn't improve. They're that stupid. They are that stupid.
Do you have like a side quest that like you're rooting for, like a Champions League team that you've adopted?
Nah, my love for United. I hate all other teams in that sense. I only care about United. I've got a soft spot for Sporting and teams that have fed us good things before.
Fulham versus Palace. What are you thinking?
That's a bit of a London derby. That I'm gonna stick 100 on Fulham because we beat them twice this year, and Palace will beat us. We drew and lost to Palace. So fuck Palace.
Yeah, we're mirroring each other again. Ipswich, Tottenham.
You know what? I'm gonna put. How much have I got left?
You have a lot. 503 games.
I'm gonna put. I'm gonna go a bit stupid here. I'm gonna put 300 on Ipswich. I think Tottenham are gonna blow it. Typical Tottenham fashion.
Yeah, I think they're gonna blow it, but I think they're gonna blow it as a tie.
Ipswich's first win of the season, or one of the early first wins of the season, was against Tottenham, and that was away. Tottenham being Tottenham.
Yeah, Ipswich is one of those teams. Like, where is it? 8 ties. Like they're not as bad as the other teams in this area.
You know what they do? Ipswich, they do the same thing Luton did with Rob Edwards, the same thing Southampton did with Russell Martin. They do all the hard work, but because they're so into playing attractive football, playing out from the back, they make a stupid mistake with like 15 minutes to go, concede, and they lose it by a goal. That's
Yeah,
how it.
or what they or what yeah, basically. I mean like I mean yes, that's fair. I would say that if they were like an Arsenal, but like I see it from the other way that like they just don't have the talent to keep a lead like that. You know what I mean? Like they
I
just don't
think they
have the
could. I think
foresight.
if they played ugly, if they went a bit more on the ugly side of things, a bit more old school
Yeah,
English, football, punt it forward,
Syria.
no block, yeah. They've got a old school, old fashioned number 9 in Liam Delap. He's a fucking proper cunt. He likes stirring up the pot. I really like Greaves. I think he's their captain. He's one of the centre backs. I really like watching him play this year. He's been a solid player for them. I think he's only about 24, 25. I think he should move on to bigger, better things if they get relegated.
Yeah, I remember that there was a game. I've only seen like two or three of their games this year, but there's a game I was watching earlier where it was just like they they were up and I had money on them, and I just did not feel the least bit secure about it. And then I think it was against Brighton maybe, and then Brighton leveled it, and I was just like, okay, well, there's no way for them to win this game now because they just don't have the talent. You know what I mean? Then like at a certain point, you need talent. You need like a system can only get you so far. You need the actual players who can put the ball in the net. All right, you have Villa Chelsea.
Mm.
Wait, what?
You guys are playing the midweek game. Villa Liverpool is midweek. You're playing on Wednesday.
Oh, wait. So are we gonna be a game back again?
It's going to be a game ahead for the first time. They
Oh,
rearranged it
so we
during the
have
during the Carabao Cup final. They rearranged this for that. So what they normally do is they push games back when you're in a cup final. They actually, for the
yeah.
first time I can remember, they pushed this game forward. So it's actually come earlier than expected.
Wait, so
A little bit dirty what they've done to you lot, if I'm being honest.
yeah, well, yeah.
So
Okay.
we
So I should have included Liverpool as well in this. Okay, I'll add it right now. Give me 1 second. Um, I'm looking through my history, and there's Mace Windu Palpatine in there. Um, okay, sport. So FanDuel is what we're using for this because FanDuel is the only sports book that actually gives me the fucking numbers. Everything else gives me like 8.2 to 1, and I'm just like, I don't care about this. Give me the actual, give me the facts, ma'am, as they say. Um, oh, okay. So we also have Brighton and Bournemouth as well on Sunday, right?
um
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Sunday, no, the game you should have, if you wanted to include the Liverpool's, like if you want to talk about just the weekend fixtures, it's actually Liverpool's City versus Liverpool on the weekend. The Villa Liverpool's on Wednesday. You guys are playing twice this week, which is why I think you'll drop some points. From
wait.
from this coming Wednesday on the 19th to the following Wednesday, exactly 7 days, you're playing 3 tough games.
Yeah, no. I saw that. I'm just trying to figure out what games are on Sun. So I what I do is I don't look at the schedule. I just look at the book.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, so it's just Manchester, Liverpool that I'm missing. Okay, so let's just add this quickly. We'll add an extra $100. So if you want to, add that somewhere. So City, tie, pool, and then the odds are 175, 280, 130. So there's an extra $100 that we can both bet. All right. Sorry, Villa Chelsea. Who do you have?
Chelsea's struggling a little bit with Jackson's injury. I can't really find the ball on there. I'm gonna put. Oh, it's Trashford versus Sancho as well. It's the United derby. One's at Villa, one's at Chelsea. I'm gonna put 200 on Villa.
Yeah, I hate this because I completely agree. I'm gonna put 100 on Villa.
And I've got how much left? I've
Um,
got 200 left, right? If I'm not
in
mistaken.
fact, I'm gonna like I like a team that like at least for like a few weeks, teams that like bring in a lot of talent in the transfer window, like have like a couple weeks where everything like clicks. You know what I mean? And like you have Rashford. Wait, so Is it Marco Asensio
Yep.
who's on Villa?
Yep. So they bought Malin, Asensio, and Rashford in the same January window because they lost John Duran, who has been tearing the Saudi Pro League up.
Wait, who's the Valverde? I always confuse Valverde and Asensio. I'm
If they sold Valverde, it's criminal. They'll be in big trouble. I wish he'd come to United. He's exactly what we need right now.
yeah. All right, so 200. You have $100 left to bet on Newcastle Forest.
I'll put it on Forest. 100 on Forest.
I'm gonna put 50 on Forest and then 150 on Pool. I So I have 350 on Pool this week. I again like I don't feel there was a time in this week of this season where my asshole got a little bit tight with Liverpool.
So
Here I'll go to the results resultados because this is in Portuguese. When was this? Uh this was this span. Like this span, I was a little bit nervous. Like after we tied you, I was like, okay, it's a Manchester United, fine. We lost to Tottenham. I was like, okay, like fine, like we beat Egerton, but then we tied Nottingham Forest. I was like, okay, now we're approaching crisis mode. Now we're approaching stuff's going bad, and then we beat the shit out of Brentford. We beat Lille. We beat the shit out of Ipswich. Our junior team lost to PSV, but who cares? We beat Bournemouth, and then we just kicked the living shit out of Tottenham Hotspur. And then I literally think that Slot told our boys to lose this game. To be
oh,
frank,
here we go. Oh, here we go. He told him to throw it. Okay. Okay. I see.
yeah, I
He told him to throw that game as well. He's like, oh, just tie it, lads. It's their last.
Everton.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's their last game at Goodison with Liverpool, Everton. Let's give them a little gift.
No. That's my theory from earlier, which is that they just showed up to that game and we didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just had a lot more intensity. But I look, if we lose to Villa or if we tie Villa, then yes, my asshole is gonna clench a little bit. But like I don't think we're going to. Like I think we're gonna beat the shit out of Villa. We might tie Man City, but I think we're gonna beat them, especially because they have the midweek versus Real Madrid where they're gonna get humiliated. And then like Newcastle United, Newcastle is not the Newcastle of last year. Newcastle has really regressed this season. I'm just gonna check the standings to make sure I'm correct.
They
But
were
what
doing all
there's
right
like
up
six?
until they played City on the weekend, lost 4-0. Up until then, they were doing all right, actually. They were sitting kind of pretty. You're playing them in the Carling Cup final as well.
Yeah, but they're seventh, man. Like I'm not like
Better than 15th.
this. It is better than 15th. Do you have any other big stories? Big stories that we want to cover? We talked about Real. I feel really shitty about that. We lost that. Obviously, you got embarrassed for your Celtic take because I'm not the only person who got embarrassed.
It was there for the taking. Honestly, I thought Celtic would have turned up for that. They had a goal. No, I'll tell you what happened in that Celtic game. If you watch it, they scored in the first 26 seconds. Typical European night Celtic. They went first 26 seconds, they scored. They gave a dodgy offside. One of the strikers was impeding the goalkeeper's vision. I mean, soft, but I could see it being given. That's annoying. That just deflated the whole stadium. If that goal had stood, Celtic would have won that game. So
Yeah.
it was this fucking VAR nonsense,
I,
honestly.
I I hate impeding vision calls, to be honest with you, because there's so many goals that are made in football where vision is impeded. There's the classic. I mean, this happens every week where like a you know somebody shoots the ball, it hits somebody's leg, it takes a weird bounce, it goes into the goal, and the goalkeeper didn't see that because there's a defender or something else there. I just don't think that impeding vision should be a thing. I don't care about it enough to like do a whole rant about it, but that's just my general like I just don't think that should be a thing, especially with how shitty the refs are, man. Like you want to put as little stuff in their hands as possible.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see how these next fixtures go. It's funny because you guys are playing Villa the same night City are playing Madrid. So I don't know. which game I'm going to be more focused on. Probably you lot.
I mean, do you think you have a chance of us not winning
Really?
the Premier League?
I mean, there's always a chance. It's just very highly unlikely given that Havertz is out for the season now. Arsenal have no real striker. Marino could come in and do a job for a little while. Ethan Wary, the young boy at Arsenal, him and Lewis Skelly, brilliant. It's great to see that, especially a couple of young English lads killing it. Bukayo Saka needs to come back ASAP for this crunch period. If he's back, they have a chance. And you lot need to, but you don't need to fuck up, which is rare in this instance. Like Slot, you don't really need to fuck up. Like, let's say from these 3 games, 9 points are on the table. If you only come away with 4, so you lose to City, you draw with either Villa or Newcastle, and then you beat the other one, you're still kind of okay because then you've
Okay,
already
so
got.
so let's say we come away with 4 from that. Okay, here's the rest of our schedule. I'm not going to share my screen just because I want to talk through it. Southampton,
Yeah, that's a gimme.
Everton, but this is a different Liverpool Everton dynamic. This is in Liverpool, and it's also Liverpool with Arsenal on our back, and we have to win this. Then we have West Ham.
Hopefully, Curtis Jones can, control his emotions a little bit better this time, not be a big baby.
We have West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham, and then we have a little bit of a tough Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace.
That Arsenal game at Anfield is going to be nuts. That's going to be one hell of an atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's basically a 6-pointer. That's a 6-point game.
Yeah, depending how close we are, though.
Yeah, so I mean, let's see. Arsenal do their jobs. They're notoriously known to fuck up at this part of the season. So let's see. It also depends on how the Champions League goes. If Arsenal get drawn against a tough team, get knocked out early, if you guys go deep in that competition, there's still factors in play. It's pretty much done, but it's not done and dusted. It's weird.
Isn't that semifinals around that time?
What are we talking about? April? Yeah.
No. It's May 10th. Liverpool, Arsenal.
That is definitely semi-final. Second legs will be happening then.
Well, that's actually my birthday, so I hope that they win that game just for my birthday. I mean, that'd be rude of them not to.
I hope you have a great birthday, but I hope they lose on your birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it's done and dusted, just because that usually leads to us losing. But I think we have like one hand on the trophy. Barcelona now I think is tied with Real Madrid, right?
I haven't really kept. They beat Sevilla the other night, if I'm not mistaken.
Sevilla is really terrible this year.
Been rough for a while. I have some good friends out in Seville, so I feel for them. Tough. They're diehard fans as well. They're proper fans. I actually spent a birthday watching Sevilla beat Real Madrid for my 20th.
Really? Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, so La Liga is Barca. I mean, they're up on goal differential. Barca, Real, Atletico, Athletic Club, Villarreal.
It's not based on goal difference. Spanish league, if the points are the same, the first thing they look at is your head to head. So who's
really?
Barca have beaten them both times, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least so Barca in a strong position if the points are the same.
Yeah, but they're also 11 goals up. Barcelona has probably the best offense in all of football right now.
Like, fucking the Yamal's there. You obviously got Lewandowski still plundering goals.
So here is their so in the Champions League, Barcelona is number 1 in goals scored with 28. Do you want to guess how many goals the second place team has?
You've got 28. Second place probably got like 15?
22, but still it's 6 is a big that's basically 1 goal per game difference. Liverpool has 17. In La Liga, Barcelona have 65. Real Madrid are in second. Do you know how many goals they have?
54, 55?
52. But that's a 13 like Barcelona. I mean, Lewandowski, it's weird, like because he is kind of the same age as Messi, right?
He's only like 35, I think, 36 at max.
So he's 36. Messi's 37.
Oh, really? I thought Messi was older than that. Damn, 37. Shit, Messi.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is okay, he's 40. But Lewandowski's really having like a second career right now at Barcelona. By the way, always have to say he's like my second cousin.
Yes.
He
Am I going
should
to see him? Is he coming to the wedding? Am I going to see him at the wedding?
no. But he was at my grandfather's funeral.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way. Oh shit. I thought you were just fucking around. Okay.
No, he was there. Um, I mean, Barcelona have like an incredible future. I mean, they have Lewandowski, Rafinha, who's completely changed his career, Gavi, Yamal, Pedri, De Jong, who has always been kind of like a young upstart, but he's kind of settled into like a Gundogan type person. Pe People thought he would be a lot better, I think, than he is, but he is still pretty good. Um,
Fermin Lopez is another brilliant one. United have been desperate to sign him. He's not going anywhere. Fermin Lopez had a great year so far. Really
how
broke
how
out.
old is Chesney?
Chesney. Oh yeah, he's their backup keeper, which is very strange. He's had some killer career moves. Juve for a long time. He's with Arsenal at the beginning. Now he's at Barca. He's done well for himself.
He's their starter right now.
What happened to Ter Stegen? Injured?
Yeah, I think Ter Stegen's injured. Those German keepers are always fucking injured, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, he's normally been pretty good with injuries. He's been there for a long time, Ter Stegen. I remember he got there in
Well,
like
2 years ago, Neuer was down for like the whole season with like a skiing accident.
yeah, ski nights and him and Schumacher. These boys need to chill out with their skiing. He broke his
Yeah.
fucking skiing. Yeah.
Um, I
Bayern
it's
told him as well. They said to him, "Yo, don't do nothing mad." He goes fucking skiing and breaks his leg. I'd be livid if I'm
oh
a fan.
yeah.
Like ski when you're retired. 60, 70-year-olds can ski all they want, bro. You're the captain of the national team. You're the fucking captain of the club. A little bit. Oh, if you're gonna go skiing, go on the blue runs. Don't need to do the double diamond black bullshit. Just chill. Keep it cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, my general feeling about athletes is that like you should not do anything except play the sport. Like you should wake up, eat, have a perfect diet, go to the gym, practice all day, go to the fucking pitch, and then when you come home, you should play FIFA. That is my ideal athlete. By the way, do you know who is exactly like that? And I'm about to make a pretty radical turn, but I feel like this is a good thing to end the episode with. Do you know who is exactly like that?
Was it?
No, Max Verstappen.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've got a funny story about F1 for you in a second. Yeah, go on. So,
So
Verstappen.
so so Max Verstappen, no joke. So literally all he does is he trains and then is on the simulator, right? And so he actually got in trouble with his team because he was playing F1 simulator too much. Because what would happen is he would be up until like 3 o'clock in the morning the day before a race on the simulator, not even like practicing for the race, just fucking around having fun because he loves race driving. And the team said you can no longer stay up until 3 a.m. before races. Like literally, it's the equivalent because remember, like as an F1 driver, you can't go out and practice. You're not allowed to do that. They have regulations about that, right? So it would be the equivalent of Real Madrid telling Ronaldo you are not allowed to practice as much. You know what I mean? It's just insane, but like that is how singularly devoted he is to racecraft. It's why I love being a Max Verstappen fan. There's I just want to say one last thing, and then I'll hand it over to you for your Verstappen story. But there have been a ton of videos. I think just because I liked one of them, they just showed me 1,000 more on Instagram. That is the Brazilian Grand Prix set to Madonna's "Like a Prayer." So I don't know if you remember, but the Brazilian Grand Prix earlier this year or like late last year, Max Verstappen, it was basically like if Lando Norris won by a lot of points and Max Verstappen didn't, then the championship was on. And like these two, like every single Red Bull fan was going to that race just being like, hopefully Max only loses by a little bit and like we can lean on them, right? And then During the sprint race, which is like a mini race before the race, they fucked us. I'm not even getting into that. And then during qualifying, they fucked us again in the most egregious manner possible. Max Verstappen started at 17th. Lando Norris started at second. Max Verstappen won that race, putting up 20 fastest laps as well. He was just flexing on people. He was literally
So
just like, I'm gonna put fastest lap after fastest lap just because I fucking can. Fuck you. Anyway, there have been so many videos on Instagram that's just highlights from that race with "Like a Prayer" by Madonna, and it's literally all I've been watching on Instagram. Anyway, sorry. What's your story?
I'll share it. Let me know if you can see my screen. Oh, it's not letting me share. I'll just put the link in the chat. You can open it up. I just randomly found this. I swear to God, the internet just listens to my conversations, just knows the stuff we talk about. Put it in the chat. It sent me an ad for this F1 Formula One experience in London. It's finishing on March 2nd, so I'm gonna try to catch it this weekend. It's like 25 quid, $20 to go there. I think you would fanboy over this. I was thinking of you when I saw it. I'll go check it out. I'll take pictures or whatnot of it. I'll send it to you. It looks kind of cool. I'm getting into F1 slowly. I'm not there yet, but it's
Yeah.
kind of that they do this. I think they
Oh, nice.
even cover like Netflix's Drive to Survive series, things like that. Like it's a real deep dive into it, and it's in a cool part of the city. Excel London by the water. It's pretty nice.
So you can see like the cars and stuff.
Yeah, the cars. They give you the design lab as well, which sounds pretty cool.
Y- Yeah, for me, I mean, look, there is one aspect of F1 that I dislike, but generally my feeling about sports is like I think everyone latches on to a different thing about sports, and
Yeah,
there's some things I just don't care about. And for me, like most of the stuff that would be at this exhibition, I'd probably go if I was in London. But like
yeah,
for me, I just love watching the races, and then all the other stuff. Like here is this car from 1972. I'm actually not a big car guy, to be honest with you. So like that stuff is not as interesting to me. But like I do love watching the old documentaries about the old racers, like Senna, Prost, all those guys. Senna was a fucking maniac. I mean, he literally died on a fucking racetrack, racing, which, there's this crazy story about Senna where um he told so his wheel kept on hitting the barrier at one of the races at Monaco, and he told his race engineer, he was like, the barrier's off by like 10 millimeters. And the guy was like, bullshit, man. You're just fucking up, and you're not enough of a man to admit that you're fucking up, right? Like the barrier's not off. And then like after the race, they went and they checked, and the barrier was off by exactly 10 millimeters. It was crazy. Because they can tell. But dude, you should definitely go to this.
yeah. I'm gonna check it out. My dad's a bit of a Formula. He used to be a big Schumacher fan, so I'm gonna see if I can take him along as well for a little bit. It's cool. It's nice. $20 can't go wrong. Get a
Oh,
bit
it's just
more.
$20? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Worth its weight in gold. There's obviously more expensive. There's like 70, $80 tickets for like the VIPs, so I'm not that interested.
Yeah, no.
It'll be a cool
Um,
thing to do something different this weekend, hopefully. Break
I do
out
have to say one thing. I went to an F1 race, and it was by far the worst live sporting event I've ever been to in my life.
You're only going to see it for 10 seconds or less when the cars go past, and you have to wait for them to come back around again. I
And
assume.
you also have no idea what's going on in the race. Like you have no like literally everyone
They don't
around
have
me was on their
screens to tell you.
phone.
Yeah, they
So
don't have screens up there to like tell you who's in the lead or how it's going, what lap they're on.
they have a couple in a couple places, but we bought the wrong tickets without it, and so there was also like a radio that had it, but like it was in Japanese, and we didn't speak
That
Japanese.
sounds dope. That sounds dope. You can kind of figure it out. It's like half the fun is figuring out what the fuck's going on while it's happening.
Literally everyone around us had their phones out, like trying to figure it out. One cool thing is that like um you, like you don't realize how much of a so like you watch F1, right? And you see like Max Verstappen is 11 seconds in front, right? And you don't really grasp how ridiculous that is until you actually go to an F1 race
Now,
and you see a car go by and you have to wait 20 seconds for the next car to go by. You're like, this is insane. Like 20 seconds does not seem like a big difference, but like on the
okay,
actual racetrack, it is
you just count it. It's a
huge.
lot. It's a lot. If you count it, just count it out, especially in silence. You're like one, two. You're like, fuck, 20? He's that
Yeah.
far ahead.
I have to say one thing. Like, if you do go to an F1 race, Japan is apparently the best one. And like I do think that I would have hated it a lot more if it wasn't Japan because there was a lot of great food. The food was very cheap. You know, like but like all of the stuff that Japan does well made the experience better. If I was like in Monaco or like in Italy, I'm sure is the worst. I'm sure it's horrible in Italy because the logistics are probably all terrible. The food is probably incredibly overpriced. You know what I mean? And it's like still all the other
On,
bad stuff.
on the way up to the Midlands for me, Silverstone, I used to drive past Silverstone all the time. And there was one time where I think I took a wrong turn, was part of the motorway was shut. I was like in parts of Silverstone I don't think I was supposed to be in, if you know what I mean. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this don't look like where my car should be. And I got out of it quick time, but it felt surreal when I was going through, oh my God, this looks like not the actual grid, but like a practice grid or something. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. It was no one there. Literally, it was a ghost town. It was like a random Saturday mid-afternoon, like 1, 2 p.m. And Silverstone, whatever time of year it happens, it was definitely not that time of the year, like the complete opposite, like 6 months either before or after it. But it was just weird seeing like an empty arena for fucking F1 stuff. It was really cool, actually. I was
Yeah,
quite.
I mean, for me, it's like I always wonder like what do they do like for the other 362 days of the year?
I'm sure they might have an event here or there, but when I went past it, like dead empty, there was nothing going on. That was
Yeah,
really cool.
we like we're trying to decide what sport we want our kids to do, and like my girlfriend really wants like one of our kids to do F1, and I'm like F1 is the most expensive sport for a parent.
That's
Like
that
it is.
privilege coming in now. She's got that American white privilege kicking in now. I want F1. I want him to play tennis. I want him to drive F1. What else is there? I want him
Yeah,
to
no.
ride horse riding, equestrian. Fuck it, like the most.
Oh, she's been talking about horses for a future girl, and I'm like, as we're wrapping up, like so I'm thinking we're gonna live in Indonesia for like 3 years because like you can get really cheap houses.
Yeah,
Um,
stuff.
so like when I lived there, I was there for a month. So Airbnb, their prices are like 50% more than like, what you can actually get on the market. Obviously makes sense because people need a markup, right? Um, we had a 3-story house with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a pool for $800 a month. Uh, so like we're like, fuck it, man. Like, because we want to have a large family, like we want to have like 5, 6 kids, and that's just a pot. So it's like two non-negotiables for me are I want 5 to 6 kids, and I do not want my girlfriend to work. I mean, obviously, if she wants to work, like she can, but like I chose somebody based on it because I want my kids to be around their mother when they're kids. That's very important for me, right? And it's like if those are your two non-negotiables, then everything else has to be negotiable. And so for me, I'm just like, I mean, even South America is too expensive for that. Paraguay, not so much, but like even other countries in South America. So I'm like, we're probably gonna be living in like Indonesia or like Thailand or Vietnam, which, we're far away, but like, at least we get that. You know what I mean? So we're probably shacking up in Indonesia. Hopefully you and Adriana can come meet us there. All
Oh, for
right, I'm gonna stop recording.